People that force themselves onto you have demons. You don't feel like seeing them, but they make you anyway. We've all experienced and encountered situations where we have had others force themselves into our presence. Your presence is supposed to be a sacred thing, but there are those that will encroach on the space or the presence of others unwanted, unnecessarily. And you even go about your way to avoid these people because you try to be a positive person. But there are some situations where you just aren't allowed to do that, because you might have to exercise some authority over a demonic spirit and a person that just won't take no for an answer, because you're going to have to equally put force back onto them, because this person is trying to force themselves onto you, but it's not them. This person has a demon on them because they're choosing to be an evil person, full of wickedness, and they feel that they have free range to impose themselves onto another. And this is because of weakness. This is because of insecurity. This is because of issues that they're dealing with. And they choose to project how they feel on to others. They don't take responsibility for how they feel. They don't take responsibility for how they act. They just willingly go out and behave however they want towards people. And most of the time, people are unaware and confused about it happening. So they're not even hip to what's going on. They don't know why this person keeps meeting them around the corner every so-and-so day out of the week. They don't know why this person's always waiting for them at the steps while they're trying to go to work, and they don't want nobody in their face, and this person is just there to hit them with the good morning. See, these people have a serious issue. They have a serious problem, and they need other people to charge them up. So they specifically and they strategically place themselves around specific people so that way they can get what they need. It's like getting a cup of coffee. You are their caffeine. They are pretty much junkies when it comes to taking energy from people. And this is a result of taking in adrenaline off choosing people to be your victim for some type of evil, wicked behavior. They choose to behave in a way to where they get an adrenaline rush and they get to feel powerful or some type of charge or some type of on top of the world feeling from putting somebody down. And then after a while, it's like the caffeine wears off. They need some more. They need another shot of espresso. So what that causes them to do is to continuously look for people and look for ways to try to get this feeling back from. They want that old thing back. But what they don't realize, what they're doing in the beginning, is that they're feeding a demon. And then sooner or later, they get possessed and fully taken over and aren't even aware of what's going on anymore. They aren't even there. Nobody's home. Just the constant need to feed that entity that has them possessed, on lockdown. So when you have someone that it seems like they just don't understand or don't choose to understand that you don't want anything to do with them, you have to breathe. You have to take a deep breath, because this is some real wicked energy right here, and it can influence you because of the amount of times you may have to experience it. This may not just be a one or two buckle my shoe thing for you. This might be every step of the way the Fallen type of experience, a Truman Show type of experience. You're going to have to develop a sense of patience, because if not, they'll wear you thin and they'll wear you down. You're going to have patience for these people, and you're going to have to find it. It's not something that's going to be there immediately unless you've been working on yourself and training your mind. That's the only way to have it there readily available to you, is to train yourself. Bruce Lee says some really powerful stuff, right? He said, when you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. It doesn't fight the shape. It doesn't fight what is being put in. It just becomes the cup. Nothing more, nothing less. Takes the shape of it, takes the form of it, becomes it. So the best way I can explain that in a format that can help you watching this video, which it probably already clicked for you, is that when you are experiencing certain things that make you uncomfortable, you become comfortable with it. You take over how you feel by not trying to ignore the fact that something happened, or not trying to accept that something happened. Something may have happened that you don't like. You have to accept it and you have to get over it. But becoming the cup like the water does in this sense is feeling the negativity, but realizing that you have more power than it. Realizing that it's not more powerful than you. Realizing that it doesn't control you. You can become it in the sense of just feeling it, letting it dissipate, accepting it, realizing that it's there, knowing that it has no power over you, it can't move you, it can't control you. All you can do is feel it. And you have to choose and decide how you act, or how you act based off that or after that. But looking at it that way puts you in a state of, it puts you in a state of mental power, puts you in a state of mental control. That way you don't have to get upset over it, because it allows you to view it from a point of detachment. It allows you to detach yourself from it by actually becoming it, in a sense, because the way you're looking at it isn't in a way to where it's controlling you or having more power over you. So that way, once you feel it, you can do with it what you want. Throw it away, choose to feel something different, and let it go. Because by becoming that, you can realize you could become whatever you want. You can become that. You could become peace. You could become happiness. You can become whatever state of being that you want. But you become that to destroy it. You become that to eliminate it. You become that to realize that that power and that feeling isn't as strong as you may perceive it to be. And now you realize that you have more power over it and the person who is trying to administer this type of pain or inflict this type of damage. People that try to force themselves onto others have demons. They're unfulfilled, they're unhappy, and anything that has that spark within them, they have to try to come and take it for themselves. They don't know how to create it. And they stay stuck on a level that they'll never learn. The ones that they're supposed to be picking up game from, they attack and think negative things about them. Think they don't know much because they view themselves as superior. Somebody views themselves as superior. It's like you have the old weak, not to say he's weak, but you have the old, you got Yoda, right? People may think they could run up on Yoda until he picks him up, puts him down, or whatever, whatever technique he uses on them. They perceive things, but then they find out what they thought isn't what they thought, and you end up being stronger than they actually thought in the beginning. So when people are forcing themselves on you, it's usually because it's something that they see you have that they don't. They have jealousy. They have an envy, because whatever it is about you that you have, they wish they had it. They wish they were able to move through life the way you are because of whatever it is. They feel you have it easier. And there are people who are desperately mad or upset about that because their mind is so uptight and they can't see any different because of this condition that they actually think that people are taking things from them because they want something that someone else has, and because they don't have it, they feel that they lack in their life experience. They only lack thinking. They only lack a different perception or a different way of thought. That's the only thing they're lacking. To him who has, it shall be given, but to him who has but have not, it shall be taken away. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter who you are, in a sense. You might be able to get some things off with you absolutely can get some things off with the power of your mind, but you would have to be so slick and cold with it. You would have to be a pro and a master if you aren't trying to become what you're looking for. That's what I'm saying. What about the person who's not there yet? They can still get what they want. They just have to have a strong faith. And the devil hates a child of God with a strong faith, because you don't put any faith in his power, which causes him to feel weak, which causes him to not feel strong. So you have these spirits out here that are forcing themselves onto you because they have feelings of inferiority and weakness, and they're trying to tap into you and steal your strength. They're trying to steal the presence and the power of God within you, not realizing that they have that same presence within themselves, but they're just unaware or too lazy or just don't care enough. Think it's corny or stupid or foolish or weak or whatever to develop that power within themselves. But then when they see you, you know, when they see you shining and doing your thing, then they want to come interrupt. When they see you living your life the way it's supposed to go, and they're hating over there in the corner, then they want to force themselves on you. They want to try to show you and others that they got it going on more than you, or that they deserve what you have, or you're not worthy of it, or they're even trying to steal it from you. And most people who have some type of jealousy towards you because it's something about you that they perceive as cool or awesome or special, they want to try to control how people view you, because when you stay in your power, it could potentially expose who they are, which would cause people to view them differently, which is something that they cannot afford, because they have to manage their image to prevent from being exposed. Because if they get found out, their whole operation is kaput. They're screwed. People will find out what type of person they are. It'll be like a situation to where you might, like you see with some of these celebrities today. Not saying the ones who were alleged, but the ones who actually were sociopaths and psychopaths and narcissists, things of that nature. And the thing is, everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them. It's just that not everybody is narcissistic. Some people just have traits. Everybody has those traits, because everybody has an ego. But you have to have the empathy and the emotional intelligence to be able to have the wherewithal to control that stuff. You got to be able to control that. You got to know, you know, that's not cool, man. I'm not doing that to nobody. I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me. But you have people who have demons on them and will force themselves onto people because they didn't take the time to correct what they needed to work on within themselves. And you'll have people who will think that they can just act any type of way, behave any type of way, move around anybody any type of way, force themselves on your energy. And really what we're describing in this video is no-touch torture. And they do this as a way to psychologically abuse their targets. But you're going to have to stay grounded. You're going to have control over yourself. Deep breathing will help with this a lot, because it causes internal rage. It causes conflict. It causes you to want to react. It causes you to want to fight some of these people. And they're not touching you at all. So you already know automatically who would get blamed if anything was to transpire. If anything was to pop off, it would be you who would get the pointer for the finger pointed at them, because you're the one who causes them to feel jealous. They want to get you out of their sight. They feel, because they have to see you, you're an issue, you're a problem. You're someone who causes them to have their whole reality rearranged. You pop their bubble. They live in a soft, fragile fantasy world, thinking of themselves the way they want. And when somebody else challenges that, instead of work on themselves, they rather kill you for it. Or try to put so much pressure on you that they'll run you out or force you out. Some of these things are learned with time. Some of these things are learned through experience. Some of these things are learned from videos like this. But you'll know when you're dealing with somebody who's demonic, because you'll just be able to feel their presence. You'll be able to notice you'll be able to notice that something is off, something is wrong, something is glitchy in the matrix right now. You'll be able to feel their encroachment on your spiritual space. See, you have a physical space, but you also have what is called a spiritual space. You don't hear too many people talking about that. All right, you have what's called a spiritual space. And when you have people who are possessed and you're highly intuitive, all right, you could tell that, you know, somebody is encroaching you. You could tell that somebody is playing foul. They're not trying to give you your allotted amount of distance. And they do that to try to stress you out. They do that to try to add fear, intimidation, worry, steal your focus, steal your energy. And you don't think it's a game with this whole focus, attention stealing thing, because that's what they feed off of. Just like a plant or a tree stands outside, or just like you could stand outside and absorb that sunlight, just like that. People think this is a game, just like that movie Fallen. These spirits cannot move too far, all right, or they cannot, and that's what the movie portrayed. But basically, this is what it is. They can't live without negative energy. That's why that spirit was always causing mayhem throughout that movie. They can't live without negative energy. They die without it. So people that are always trying to cause a problem, always trying to just get, you know, all up in your aura, all up in your space, trying to bring negative energy your way. These are possessed spirits on these people who latched onto them, trying to feed off of your energy. And when you don't give it to them, they die off. You could feel the tension and the negativity around these people, but you have to keep telling yourself that that energy is not yours. Deep breathing will help. You know, praying will help. Affirming positive statements will help. Don't overlook this part of the video. Watch it to the very end. Don't click off now, because these are the things that are going to be in the back of your mind that are going to save you in a time of need when people are acting strange. All right. And depending on the level of activity that you experience from others, you may have to have a higher level of patience, because there's no one to help you. There's no one to save you. There's no one that cares except for the presence and the power of God within you. And to activate that and to connect with that, you're going to have to go within during those times where people are trying to pull you outside of yourself and get you to focus on the external things, which are the things that are trying to harm you and bring you the most damage, bring you the most stress, take you away from your internal peace. So they're not just forcing themselves on you. They're not just being where you are at certain times. They're not just trying to figure out your routine for no reason. You're trying to avoid these people. These are people that you don't even feel like seeing half the time, but they seem to always want to be in your vision, always try to get your attention, always want you to focus on them. And it's because they're taking in light, they're taking in energy. They have spirits on them that will fade away and go back to the netherworld. If they don't, they'll pass back through the gates. They'll fade away back to where they came from. They come through with negativity, and they have to continue to feed off of that while they're here. There are people who make pacts. There are people who sell their soul. There are people who make agreements with them for certain types of technology. There's certain people who are most likely in the government that are possessed by these spirits as well. getting all this types of war weapons and things like that, and these entities are living through these people. That's what they even tried to portray you on and show you on The Simpsons. People behind the podiums with the suit, you rip the thing off their head, and it's a whole draconian thing going on, a whole lizard. So it's something behind the mask with this whole people forcing themselves on you. It's something that you have, they're trying to steal. All right, I'll see you in the next video. If you like my channel, support my channel, hit the like button, hit the share button. Don't forget to subscribe. Send a Cash App payment, send a PayPal payment. If you really support my channel, all right? A lot of people say they support my channel, but they don't really support my channel. Shout out to everybody that really supports my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. We out.